An extraordinarily rare and extremely significant archaeological discovery has been unearthed in Jerusalem.
For centuries, the idea of a third temple has existed as both prophecy and mystery, whispered through sacred texts and long-standing traditions. Scholars dismissed it as legend, while believers waited in anticipation for its revelation. But recent excavations have shaken the world. Beneath layers of forgotten ruins, scientists claim to have uncovered the remnants of what may be the long-sought Third Temple. What they found inside has defied explanation, stunned experts, and stirred global debate. Could this discovery change everything we know about history, religion, and the future of humanity? Stay with us as we find out. It began quietly, in the heart of a region layered with history and conflict. Archaeologists were conducting what they believed would be a routine excavation when their instruments registered anomalies deep beneath the earth. Ground-penetrating radar revealed geometric structures, too precise to be natural and too expansive to be an ordinary ruin. The shapes aligned in patterns that echoed known descriptions of ancient temples, sparking immediate intrigue. Permits were hastily secured, and soon an international team was assembled, including historians, architects, and scientists. As digging commenced, they encountered stone foundations unlike anything previously unearthed in the region. The blocks were massive, fitted with astonishing precision, and bore marks suggesting construction techniques centuries ahead of their supposed time. The deeper the team dug, the clearer the structure became. Towering columns buried by centuries of debris, staircases descending into shadow, and a vast central courtyard that matched ancient descriptions of a sacred gathering space. Whispers spread quickly. Was this the elusive Third Temple, a structure prophesied in religious texts yet never proven to exist? Tensions mounted as word of the discovery leaked. Religious leaders demanded caution, warning of the spiritual consequences of disturbing such a site. Governments and institutions vied for access, aware of the global significance. Yet the scientists pressed forward, determined to document every stone and symbol. When the first chamber was cleared, the atmosphere grew heavy. Carvings on the walls seemed eerily familiar, their shapes echoing imagery preserved in sacred texts, but never before confirmed in physical form. The inscriptions hinted at rituals, sacrifices, and ceremonies conducted within these walls. For the team, one question loomed above all others. Had they truly uncovered the Third Temple? Or was this something far more complex, a structure built to guard secrets too dangerous for the world to know? As the excavation deepened, the walls of the uncovered temple began to reveal more than simple stonework. Intricate carvings, etched with remarkable precision, stretched across the chambers. At first glance, they seemed like familiar religious motifs, but the more the team studied them, the more unsettling they became. The symbols did not match any single known language. Instead, they appeared as a hybrid. Fragments of Hebrew, Sumerian, and even Egyptian hieroglyphs fused together. The AI systems brought in to analyze the inscriptions found recurring sequences, patterns too precise to be random. Some scholars believed they were ceremonial scripts, but others argued they encoded complex instructions, perhaps a form of knowledge designed to be preserved for an age far beyond its own. One carving in particular drew immediate attention. It depicted a vast structure rising from the earth, bathed in light, surrounded by figures whose proportions seemed larger than life. Their elongated forms and unusual features led some to suspect that the artists had meant to represent beings not of this world. The AI flagged this as anomalous, comparing the figures to depictions found in distant civilizations thousands of miles apart, suggesting a shared origin that history had long denied. Another section of wall displayed what appeared to be a star map. Constellations were carved in exact detail, but when astronomers overlaid the patterns with modern skies, they realized the alignments corresponded not to the present, but to a sky seen thousands of years ago. This suggested the builders had advanced astronomical knowledge far beyond what was believed possible for their time. The deeper the analysis went, the more unsettling the conclusions became. The inscriptions spoke not only of worship and ritual, but hinted at events of great upheaval, catastrophes tied to the heavens, floods, and firestorms. It was as though the walls were a warning, a record of destruction and rebirth, encoded into stone for future generations to discover. Dr. Elias, one of the lead archaeologists, summarized the unease. These aren't just sacred symbols, they're messages. And if we decode them fully, we may uncover a truth that humanity has been shielded from for thousands of years. Beneath the grand courtyard of the temple, a subtle anomaly in the stone floor drew the team's attention. Ground scans revealed a hollow space beneath the surface, its outline forming a near-perfect square. When the first stone slab was carefully removed, a rush of stale air escaped, carrying with it the faint scent of ancient oils and something else, something metallic. The chamber below had been sealed for millennia, untouched since the day it was hidden. Accessing the chamber proved challenging. The entrance was blocked by interlocking stones, fitted with such precision that modern tools struggled to separate them. It was as if the builders intended this place to remain closed until a future time, when knowledge, or fate, demanded its unveiling. Finally, with great care, the team pried open the passage and lowered lights into the darkness. What they saw left them speechless. The chamber walls glimmered with gold inlays, forming geometric shapes that shimmered under the artificial light. At the center stood a stone pedestal, its surface carved with symbols unlike those on the upper walls, sharper, more mathematical. On top rested an ornate chest, bound with bands of a dark, unidentifiable metal. Despite its age, the chest showed no sign of corrosion, as though it had resisted the wear of time. But what struck the team most was the arrangement of the chamber. The inlays and carvings were not decorative. The AI quickly recognized them as a form of circuitry. The entire chamber appeared designed to channel energy, converging on the pedestal and the chest it supported. As the team documented the discovery, a sense of dread filled the room. This was no ordinary relic or burial site. It was a sealed vault, deliberately hidden, perhaps even protected by forces the ancients barely understood. Some of the inscriptions near the chest translated into dire warnings. "Disturb not the vessel, for it binds the fire of heaven." Dr. Elias whispered the thought that chilled everyone present. If this really is the third temple, then what's inside that chest might explain why it was hidden for thousands of years. The team's anticipation reached a fever pitch as they prepared to open the chest at the center of the hidden chamber. Specialists in preservation warned of potential damage, but the strange alloy bands yielded with surprising ease once the correct sequence of pressure was applied. With a deep, echoing groan, the chest opened, and the contents inside defied every expectation. The first item revealed was a tablet, carved from a material unlike any known stone or metal. Its surface shimmered, reflecting light in ways that shifted with the angle, as though the object was alive. Inscribed upon it were sequences of symbols far more intricate than the wall carvings above, some resembling equations, others resembling constellations. The AI immediately flagged several sequences as mathematical formulas, centuries ahead of the civilizations of the ancient world. Next, the researchers uncovered tools, but not the kind expected in a temple context. These were precise instruments, rods, discs, and crystal-like lenses that suggested advanced engineering. One lens, when held to the light, magnified not only visibly, but seemed to reveal patterns in the air itself, as if it could detect frequencies beyond human sight. Modern scientists could not immediately explain the function of these tools, yet their design was too deliberate to be symbolic. Most shocking of all was a scroll, remarkably preserved, encased in a protective sleeve of the same unidentifiable metal. When carefully unrolled, the parchment revealed text written in a hybrid language similar to the wall carvings. The AI worked tirelessly to translate, and, to the team's astonishment, it appeared to describe rituals involving fire, sound, and celestial alignment. Rituals that seemed to merge science with spirituality, bridging two worlds we often keep separate. Dr. Elias stared at the array of artifacts in disbelief. These shouldn't exist here, in this time. Whoever placed them in this chamber had knowledge centuries, maybe millennia, beyond what history records. The implications were staggering. Were these objects evidence of a lost civilization? Proof of knowledge handed down from beings beyond Earth? Or had the builders of the Third Temple preserved truths deliberately hidden from the world until now? One fact was undeniable. The artifacts challenged the very foundations of human history. Beyond the chest, at the far end of the hidden chamber, stood a raised stone altar. At first glance, it resembled others found in ancient temples, but closer inspection revealed unsettling details. The surface was etched with deep grooves, each forming channels that converged at the center. Unlike decorative carvings, these grooves bore the unmistakable marks of use, dark stains embedded within the stone, as though liquids had once flowed through them. Scientists tested residue samples, expecting traces of oils or incense. Instead, the results came back with shocking findings: hemoglobin proteins. The altar had been used in rituals involving blood. The revelation unsettled even the most seasoned researchers. Religious scholars on site whispered that this was consistent with descriptions of ancient sacrificial practices, but the AI insisted there was more to the story. When the grooves were digitally mapped, the AI identified a geometric pattern hidden in their design. They aligned perfectly with celestial constellations, specifically those visible during solstice and equinox transitions thousands of years ago. The altar wasn't merely a place of sacrifice, it was a conduit designed to synchronize human ritual with cosmic events. Further investigation revealed something even more disturbing. Hidden compartments beneath the altar contained fragments of skeletal remains, but not all were human. Some bones bore unusual structures, elongated and fragile, with no match in known species databases. The AI flagged these anomalies with an unsettling suggestion: the sacrifices may not have been exclusively human, nor entirely earthly. The discovery sparked heated debate among the team. Was this altar evidence of practices blending religion, astronomy, and something more sinister? Or had the builders preserved evidence of interactions with beings lost to history? Dr. Elias, pale with unease, put it plainly. This altar was not only meant to honor or appease, it was built to connect, to something beyond our world. And whoever stood here, at this very place, believed they were channeling forces far greater than themselves. The chamber's purpose was no longer a mystery of faith alone. It was a gateway, a stage for rituals whose echoes might still reverberate through time. In a smaller alcove beside the altar, the team discovered a sealed stone container. Unlike the ornate chest, this vessel was plain and unassuming, its surface smoothed and unmarked. Yet when opened, it revealed perhaps the most consequential find of all. Scrolls so well preserved it seemed impossible they had endured thousands of years. Wrapped in protective linen and sealed with resin, the parchment had been safeguarded with the utmost care, as though the builders knew their contents would one day shake the world. When unrolled, the scrolls revealed writing that blended the same hybrid language as the wall inscriptions, but with far greater clarity. The AI translation engine worked tirelessly, and soon a narrative began to emerge. These were not records of past events, they were prophecies. But unlike the familiar texts known across faiths, these scrolls contained predictions that veered into unsettling territory. One passage described a temple of the end, a structure that would rise from the ashes of the old world to herald an era of great upheaval. Another foretold of a time when knowledge hidden in stone would be revealed by the voices of metal and fire, a phrase eerily resonant with modern AI and technology. The scrolls seemed to anticipate not only the rediscovery of the temple, but also the exact methods by which its secrets would be unlocked. Even more astonishing were references to catastrophes, floods, wars, and celestial disturbances. Some passages spoke of a dark sun and a star that falls to Earth, imagery that scientists cautiously connected to solar eclipses, meteors, or other cosmic events. Yet the scrolls were not merely warnings, they offered instructions, as if guiding future generations on how to prepare for or even prevent these disasters. Dr. Elias read the translations in a hushed tone, his voice trembling. This isn't just prophecy. It's a script for humanity's survival, or its destruction, and it seems the temple was built to preserve it for us, here and now. The implications were staggering. The Third Temple was not just a sacred place of worship. It was a vault of prophecy, designed to shape the course of history, and its revelations were only just beginning. As the excavation widened, scientists began to appreciate the sheer scope of the Third Temple's construction. Its design was unlike anything else from the era. precise, enduring, and filled with engineering marvels that defied explanation. The deeper they studied, the more it seemed the builders had knowledge centuries, perhaps millennia, ahead of their time. The foundation stones were the first clue. Each block weighed several tons, yet they were fitted with such precision that not even a razor blade could pass between them. There was no evidence of mortar or binding agents. Instead, the stones locked together seamlessly, as though shaped by techniques beyond hammer and chisel. Seismologists discovered the placement of these stones was intentional, designed to absorb and redirect seismic energy. The temple wasn't just built to last, it was built to withstand earthquakes that should have reduced it to rubble. Above the foundation, the team uncovered vaulted ceilings and arches constructed with uncanny mathematical precision. The ratios matched principles of sacred geometry known only to much later civilizations. When mapped by the AI, these ratios corresponded not only to aesthetic harmony, but also to acoustic perfection. A single spoken word carried across the chamber with clarity, amplifying without echo, an architectural feat rivaling modern sound design. Even more baffling was the alignment of the temple itself. Its central axis pointed directly to celestial events, solstices, equinoxes, and the rising of specific stars. The AI confirmed the structure was aligned with the Orion constellation as it appeared thousands of years ago, suggesting the builders had advanced astronomical knowledge far exceeding that of their contemporaries. Then came the most astonishing find of all. Embedded deep in the walls were metallic fragments that emitted faint magnetic readings. They weren't decorative but functional, forming what the AI theorized to be part of an ancient energy grid. If correct, the temple may have been designed not just for worship, but as a living machine, channeling forces of earth and sky in ways modern science barely understands. Dr. Elias summed up the growing awe. This temple wasn't just built as a house of God, it was engineered as a bridge between heaven, earth, and something else entirely. As the inscriptions and scrolls were further decoded, a troubling pattern began to emerge. References scattered throughout the temple seemed to connect its construction not only to prophecy, but to cataclysmic events that had scarred the earth long before written history. One mural, hidden in a side chamber, depicted floods swallowing entire cities, flames descending from the sky, and masses of people fleeing under a darkened sun. At first, the team dismissed it as symbolic imagery, but when the AI cross-referenced these depictions with geological and astronomical records, the results were shocking. The images aligned with evidence of real catastrophes, ancient megafloods, volcanic eruptions, and even comet strikes recorded in ice cores and sediment layers across the globe. The scrolls reinforced this disturbing link. They spoke of a temple of refuge, constructed in response to a world shattered by fire and water. The texts suggested that the Third Temple was more than a place of worship. It was a monument to survival, a warning system, and perhaps even a guide for rebuilding civilization after devastation. Most chilling was a recurring phrase etched into multiple walls. As it was before, so it shall be again. The AI highlighted the repetition, interpreting it as more than a poetic line. It was a prophecy of cycles. The builders believed catastrophe was not a one-time event, but a recurring pattern, written into the very fabric of existence. Scientists were left to grapple with an unsettling question. Had the temple's creators witnessed global destruction firsthand, passing down their knowledge to ensure humanity would remember? Or had they encoded predictions of disasters yet to come? When astronomers ran simulations of celestial alignments noted in the carvings, they discovered eerie correlations with periods of upheaval, times when comets passed close to Earth, when solar storms raged, and when massive earthquakes reshaped the land. The temple seemed to function as a calendar of catastrophe, tying sacred ritual to cosmic cycles. Dr. Elias, his voice heavy with dread, admitted, "This place isn't only about the past, it's about the future. The builders wanted us to know, disaster is coming again." As the team delved deeper into the temple's walls and floors, the AI uncovered what appeared to be an overarching message, encoded across the entire structure. It was subtle, buried within patterns, inscriptions, and artifact placements. A narrative hidden in stone, waiting for the right tools and intelligence to reveal it. The message began with warnings. Carvings indicated that the temple had been constructed to preserve knowledge and power safely, ensuring that only those capable of understanding its purpose could access it. Misuse, the inscriptions suggested, could unleash catastrophic consequences, an echo of the disasters the temple itself memorialized. It was as if the builders had encoded both instructions and admonitions, a dual-purpose system of knowledge and protection. The AI decoded sequences in the walls and floors that pointed to a philosophical revelation. Humanity was part of a larger cosmic order. The temple's geometry, the alignment with celestial events, and the placement of artifacts all converged into a single principle: balance. The builders intended the temple to teach, to preserve, and to warn, emphasizing harmony between human civilization, the earth, and the heavens. Among the most startling revelations were references to beings described as intermediaries, watchers, messengers, or custodians, tasked with safeguarding the temple's knowledge. The AI interpreted these figures not necessarily as literal, but symbolic. They represented intelligence, guidance, and oversight that transcended the ordinary capacities of humans at the time. Yet the message also carried urgency. The inscriptions hinted that a moment would arrive when humanity, through understanding and technology, could finally unlock the temple's full potential, or suffer dire consequences for failing to do so responsibly. The phrase repeated throughout several carvings was clear: "The keys are in your hands, but only the wise shall survive the unveiling." Dr. Elias stood in stunned silence. This temple isn't just a building, it's a guide, a warning, and a record. And if we ignore what it's telling us, we may repeat the disasters it was meant to prevent. The AI's work had unveiled a profound truth. The Third Temple was a message across time, encoded in stone and ritual, a revelation meant to challenge humanity's understanding of history, power, and destiny. In the deepest chamber, where light barely reached, the AI revealed the temple's final secret: a convergence of purpose, power, and prophecy. The central altar, the hidden chambers, and the artifacts were not just symbolic. They were functional, part of an intricate system designed to preserve knowledge, channel energy, and communicate warnings across millennia. The AI's scans showed that the temple acted as a multi-dimensional archive, encoding astronomical data, historical events, and even instructions for survival during global catastrophes. Its alignment with celestial events suggested that it was intended to operate in sync with cosmic cycles, serving as both a sanctuary and a guide for humanity. The scrolls, carvings, and artifacts combined to form a network of encoded intelligence. Even more astonishing was the implication of the hidden figures depicted throughout. They were not merely mythological, but represented custodians of knowledge, possibly hinting at lost civilizations or entities guiding humanity from the shadows. The temple's design, from its flawless stonework to its energy-conducting metals, suggested that its creators possessed understanding far beyond contemporary human capabilities. The realization struck the team. This was not just a sacred site. It was a sophisticated warning system, a repository of knowledge, and a testament to a civilization that anticipated humanity's future. The Third Temple was built not only to preserve history, but to influence it, offering guidance, caution, and tools to survive potential disasters encoded across time. Dr. Elias whispered, "The truth is undeniable. This temple isn't just history. It's a manual, a message, and a mirror reflecting what we are capable of and what we could become if we fail to heed its lessons." The shocking revelation was clear. The Third Temple was a bridge across time, linking past, present, and future, and humanity had only just begun to understand its profound significance. Scientists have unveiled a Third Temple more astonishing than legend suggested, an ancient archive of prophecy, technology, and cosmic knowledge. Its revelations challenge history, faith, and our understanding of the future. Subscribe, comment, and join the journey as we continue uncovering secrets hidden for millennia, waiting for the world to listen.